Warning. If you're watching this warning is for you. Every second of your life you spend staring at this screen is another second of your life wasted. Aimlessly watching, commenting, scrolling, liking, sharing, trolling. Is your life so empty and hollow inside that you have to vicariously live through someone else? A celebrity, a musician, an actor, a politician, a blue checkmark, a superstar. Do you read everything you're supposed to read? Do you watch everything you're supposed to watch, like what you're supposed to like, eat what you're supposed to like, think what you're supposed to think? Stop treading water. Challenge yourself. Damage yourself. Claim your individuality or you will become a statistic. Find your purpose. I have. And now I am everything you are not. You have been warned.
Wow, and that's a powerful message to start this podcast off with. Powerful shit.
Holy hell.
Wow.
So do you talk about the story behind that?
Yeah. So I am the narrator. I'm here with the essential character. This is Control Your Narrative podcast, episode 2.
Episode 2. I guess we had some decent traction on the first one, so we'll try this again. And if people like it, they can watch it. And if they don't, then they don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Or you can listen to it on your Apple Podcast, your
We're going that far.
Spotify's. Yeah, we're gonna spread the narrative out. So let's go into and you talked about this in other interviews, but we're gonna kind of get it under control. In our narrative is that promo that started off the essential character. That was the birth of the essential character.
Correct.
Now you wrote this one still under contract and still as a active performer for WWE, right?
Performer, I wouldn't say active, but yes, correct.
Now, during that time, you've been off TV for, I don't know, 7 months at this point? It was like 6, it's 5 to 7 months you've been off TV. It might have been a lot longer. I'm sure someone will tweet us the statistics, but that character came out of a lot of other ideas that just were, I guess you were developing ideas that were made for the machine, not for yourself, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know better than anybody. I was throwing whatever against the wall and seeing what was sticked. But what felt right and personal was what we just saw. Like, that was the one I've really wanted to do. I actually wanted to do it in NXT, coming off of losing a TakeOver match. I figured that would be a good time to reinvent the character, but instead I got called up. Whoops. Yeah, but also when you have something so personal and you believe in so much, there is fear that once it's in somebody else's hands, it's going to be destroyed or the purpose of it will be skewed. And I was holding on to it, but at the same time, I needed to do something. I really believed in it. I was coming off a very real and personal and dark thing with the concussion injury that we've talked about. That seems to resonate with everybody here. But yeah, so that's the second iteration of that. The first one I shot at the cement dump, but I wanted to get a better video quality because I did it on a cell phone, so I filmed that on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. The pitch went in already, and the entire essential character thesis I wrote with it, and of course, like anything, it's great. It's great. It's awesome. There's a lot we can do with this.
Do you think that was a programmed answer? Because it seemed like you would do weeks and weeks of developing a character. We go out and we filmed an idea. We'd edit it all up, and you would get, this is great. This is great. You never got I think only 1 or 2 producers really gave you like notes. You would just get this is great. Mm. Now, was that a thing of placating you? Or was that just they're so busy and you just fall through into the cracks?
Maybe a little bit of both. I don't think placating as much as when pitching something up a ladder, the people that do see it and do give you the feedback, on the creative team are trying. They're trying hard. They're throwing different things against the wall. They're always creating. It's just that nothing happens unless the top level accepts it and forces it to happen. So you can pitch ideas all day, every day, but
you could pitch yourself for weeks. But if he gets into a show and he's watching that show at home, out of nowhere you have Vikings on TV.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, what is it? What's he watching now? Someone said The Bachelor. I'm like, oh my god, I can do that. And I thought about it, but yeah, no.
I think the world is happier that you're not walking around backstage giving out roses to anybody. I think they've seen enough of you flirting with the damsel in distress storyline, which is like one of the 3 storylines that are normally seen on TV. Is you got a pretty chick, and then the guy's going after her, and then the other guy gets the girl, and you know that's you get one or 2 of those a year, you know, on TV, and it's now with the essential character, you have the opportunity to tell stories that haven't been told.
This is true, and we're telling them now.
So
we have a wild. What was created in a 90-day experiment to develop and create our own character has turned into a windfall of support and a lot of reactions I didn't expect, and has also put me in a very good position in the wrestling world to control the narrative, which, as we saw, what was this last week? I started.
Yeah.
And we will see continuing forward with things you don't even know that are coming.
So, I mean, we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a little bit about what happened this week on Impact, but what I wanted to bring up is you go into a lot in that promo, in the first promo, about giving up, and this is something you bring up a lot in the essential character, is bringing up the whole not being a statistic, not trying to be not going for the likes or the views or the affirmation of you know, and this sucks because we're in a COVID world, so that is the only reactions you really get for your artwork anymore is like views. You don't have that roar of the crowd anymore, which is kind of a downside of that. But what was your basic motivation in what the world was giving you? Because it seemed like you got really sick of being a celebrity.
I did. It's just, I like to call it demented narcissism. So, and especially, I just watch how other talents, wrestlers in the world use social media. And, you know, it's an open forum. You're allowed to do what you want. And I'm allowed to think it sucks sometimes. But it's just, I mean, the incessant complaining online about this position, but it's never really direct. And it's just, it's fraudulent, or it's non-confrontational, and it's like I'm saying something, but I'm not really. Still, you know, it's just, if you have issues, I've always believed in bringing them to the forefront and discussing them with whom you have issues, as opposed to airing your grievances online, and therefore nothing gets solved.
Yeah, like we grew up in the world where if you wanted to confront somebody, if you couldn't get them on the phone, you had to drive up to them and confront them in person. Now we live in this world where everybody can confront everybody through their Twitter publicly and try to rally up, you know, pitchforks against something, you know, and rather just discuss, you know, because 2 people can still be friends when they disagree on something.
That's an amazing concept.
Oh my gosh.
You could disagree with somebody on politics and religion
and still love
and
them,
life, and still be friends or family. It's not that big of a deal. The thing is not taking anything personal, especially someone's disagreement. And you know what happens if you discuss them openly with an open mind? Maybe they convince you something you didn't know, or maybe you convince them something they didn't know. Yeah, but like seeing wrestlers interact on social media and other celebrities, it's just hashtag demented narcissism. The attempt to get free things from companies. Like, you're making good money, just buy some stuff. Why do you have to fucking fraud? Like,
yeah,
get you know how many you want to sell these things to other people? You want them for free. You're making way more money. Just fucking buy the shit.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that just drove me nuts.
Buy it and figure out a way for your fans who aren't making the same amount of money to get it as a discount.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more.
Which, by the way, if you go get to Ruckpack and get a Ruckpack, promo code EC3, and that's you 20% off.
Yes.
And I don't get anything for it. I just like the company, and I do want to own it one day. So.
Yeah, Ruck is an amazing book bag. I want to talk about a couple more things you said in there, because we talked about celebrity, a musician, an actor, a politician, a blue check mark, a superstar. Now, what is a superstar anymore?
Well, at that point, a superstar was definitive for the World Wrestling Entertainment's branding of their talent. They're superstars. They're not wrestlers. They're beyond wrestlers. They're superstars. So that's why it's in quotes, and that's why it was the end of that, because at this time I was pitching this to the WWE as a character, so I had to resonate the story with their brand.
Do you feel like you're a superstar anymore?
I feel do I feel like the WWE's brand of a superstar?
No. I mean,
Or
like,
just
like
in general, like if I
that,
walk down the streets and people notice me.
like, well, let's just in the purpose you're making with this character and how much you're helping people find what's inside them to help find a better person inside themselves. Technically, you are a kind of a more superstar than someone that it's like. So the idea is like you get signed to this company. Now you are a superstar, but you're their superstar the way they want you to be a superstar. It's very rare that the person, the performer, becomes a superstar in the way they want to. I personally think that the essential character is becoming the superstar of this new era. Like you are becoming your own superstar.
Oh, that's really kind.
And that's just from the feedback I'm seeing on things.
And maybe this is why it's good for me, is I personally don't care if I'm a superstar. I don't care if I'm a celebrity. I don't care about any of those things that come with it besides a good living and a purposeful work life. Like, this is what I love to do, so doing it well, yeah, that's why I want to do it. But I've never felt the need for celebrity, or what you speak of, the superstar. Do I feel like a superstar? No, but did somebody notice me in Walgreens the other day and was like, "Holy heck, it's look at you!" And why don't you have a face mask on? I'm like, just kidding, but whatever. So yeah, like it's. I like it if you're resonating in a positive way with somebody and interacting with them, like we'll probably talk about in a minute. But I don't like it as far as I need to be noticed and wanted. I can live in obscurity outside of it and be totally fine. I would never be like the age-old thing that I hate the most is like somebody with a celebrity saying something like, "Do you know who I am?"
Oh.
The worst. That is just the worst attitude, the worst mentality. One time, first person I really punched in a bar, there was a little scuffle with me and my buddies. Pushing and shoving, Savage's in the mix, taking people down with wrestling maneuvers for some reason.
Savage isn't Randy Savage, it's Steven Savage.
And then the
from Mentor, not from Palm Springs, Florida, whatever Macho Man was from.
Sarasota,
sorry.
And the scuffle gets broken up, and I'm kind of peacemaking. I'm like, "Yeah, you stay over here, you stay over here." And this guy gets up and dusts himself off, and he's all hammered. And he just said, "Do you know who I am?" And without even hesitation, my hand was a fist clocking him and knocking him out. And I was like, whoa, it sucks. So, I don't know. I never went to jail for that, so hopefully statute of limitations is taken. But yeah, I don't feel like a superstar. I don't care to be a superstar. I just like to do good stuff with what I'm doing.
Okay, so let's go with this one. Stop treading water, challenge yourself, damage yourself. Now, that's a scary thing for some people. I mean, you're an athlete. You work your butt off in the cement dump every day to look as good as you look. Anybody that's performing on the level they're performing has to work their butt off. But for everybody watching or listening at home, like, what kind of advice can you give to somebody that damaging yourself is kind of scary?
It sounded cool. Let's be honest. I think in that purpose, I was actually speaking to myself.
Yeah.
So stop treading water. I was treading water. I was collecting a paycheck. I'm knocked out. Like, I didn't care. Nothing mattered. Hope was gone. Like, whatever. We're just making money in this world. Like, every week, here's a check. But I was definitely treading water, and there's nothing I could do about it besides maybe try this. Challenge yourself again. I wasn't challenged. I was resting on the same thing, so I decided to shave my head and grow facial hair and just do something completely different. So that was the challenge yourself, and then damage yourself. Yes, it sounds cool, but within challenging yourself, you do damage yourself by putting yourself out there for the ire of people, or the criticism and the ability to take it could be damaging to you personally. Also, damaging yourself is...
If you're criticized by someone of intelligence, it's only going to be a learning experience to make yourself better.
but it's rarely intelligence. Let's be honest. Damaging yourself too is like you discuss putting yourself out there physically, hurting, training, going past the point of no return, stuff like that. Same thing mentally. Putting yourself, like, instead of numbing your pain and hiding behind your pain and, using things to ease the pain, you damage yourself by accepting the pain and facing the pain head on.
That's great. So we're going to get into, now let's get into a little bit more of the narrative.
Are we talking about the whole thing? Because now I'm looking at the words. They're so powerful.
Okay, I mean, these are great. We can go back and do more, because claim your individuality or you'll become a statistic. Okay. How about that one?
That's
like,
cool.
that is a very strong statement.
If this passage is liberally borrowed from the book Fight Club. So that's what started it off, and this is one I would use that as a reference. So I don't remember what they say, claim, it's not individuality, but the word statistic seem cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, claim your individuality, okay. Don't fear being different, don't fear.
And at this point, the top 1% and the Ethan Carter characters could always be compared to something else. Like I'm not saying that you weren't original in how you performed, but the characters themselves in the DNA of what the rich aristocrat character,
snarky rich
snarky
dude
thing is something that has been, I mean, ever since Ted DiBiase, and then it's been done like to death.
It's been done film, TV. It's the classic villain of
money,
like romantic rom-coms and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very simple, but I always thought it was I remember coming up as Ethan Carter and then saying, "You're just a Ted DiBiase ripoff. You're just an Alberto Del Rio ripoff." Like, no, I'm doing something similar, but I'm doing it my way. And it's the same thing when I get tagged in tweets. It's like, MJF's just a bootleg EC3. No, he's not. He's out there. He's doing his thing his way, and he's doing really well.
Yes.
Like, sure, they're based in a similar arc, but there's only so many stupid comic-y villains you can create in a fake fighting world.
It's very, very true.
There's only so many villains you can create in a sports entertainment / professional wrestling world.
Yes.
So, but being an individual.
I mean, what made you different, and that's why I think MJF is compared to you, is that you did it when you still had a lot of youth you were still young to the world of entertainment, of professional wrestling, and similar to MJF, he's young, so like you had that opportunity where you can be a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, where the comparison is the strongest. Where Del Rio or Ted DiBiase, they were more like they were
men.
They were men.
We were kids.
You were kids, and especially when you put Spud with you, the Spud was a great addition, a great amplification of the spoiled brat because Spud was able to do it with you, and you guys fed off each other a lot.
Yeah,
true. I'm surprised they haven't taken Jungle Boy and done the same thing with MJF.
Well, he's got a Wardlow.
He got a Wardlow.
Took the Tyrus part.
He took the Tyrus part. All right, so let's talk about find.your.purpose.
That's big. That's the big thing in the narrative. So, and that's something I personally look for every day.
That's the point of the narrative.
That was really the point of everything. Is I don't know. Should I tell a story? Sure. I was at this thing with somebody. And there was this wish board. It was some sort of art exposition. I think it was like a wish board. It was something that you would just go up there and, what are you looking for in life? You'd write it down and you'd put it on there. And I'm talking to her and she puts whatever, some horse shit probably. And then I'm sitting there struggling with it. And this is months before this started. This is mid brain damage, concussion, where I'm really in a bad place. And I'm thinking, what am I looking for? And I just, whatever, the word purpose came to mind. Boom, purpose. Put it on the wish board. Then it became kind of the main arc of hopefully what the character's looking for, but then it seems that people are looking for it as well now.
And it's something when we first were developing the narrative and the sense of purpose, and we've talked about this, like I've talked about this with my writing and everything, is that professional wrestling, for us at least as children, and how we felt indoctrinated to nowadays with the sense of nostalgia, is that wrestling to us gave us such a sense of purpose. It was our superheroes as kids.
Yeah.
We had phenomenal superheroes to look up to, and they gave us purpose in everyday life. So no matter what kind of childhood you had, you could have the best childhood, a hard childhood, whatever, you were able to, Saturday mornings at 11, you can just break away from it.
Wrestling was cool.
Wrestling was cool.
Wrestling was so
It
cool.
gave us
I have
purpose as a kid, and I think that's why nostalgia still exists. And you still, you try to. I don't think that you should be using nostalgia to create your new stories, but it is definitely something that.
Well, you can use it as a basis that it provides something for the future, but when it comes in and destroys what is being built for the future, it's a vicious cycle.
You're teaching everybody that the future doesn't matter. Don't believe in the new talent because the old talent still can kick their ass.
Even if they're geriatric and totally not what they once were, they can come in and whoop our asses any day because we're losers and they're cool. Don't forget them. They're cool. We suck.
Yeah.
But you have to watch us.
It's all this mentality of everything, and then you see people still keeping that alive. So like, if you're a performer and you're still doing crotch chops or 2 sweets, man, find your own shit.
Yeah.
Like, you'll probably be a lot better of a performer if you could figure out your own shit.
Every week, the current generations are the ones that are going to be on there, and the nostalgic acts show up once in a while. So once you decide that the current acts are losers who suck and get their asses whipped by the old people that are cool, that's like, it's very simply why the industry's kind of fallen off and people are tuning out, It's like if I'm watching, I use this example, a baseball game, hypothetically, and who's a great starting? You don't know.
Yeah, I don't watch no baseball.
Okay.
I was Albert Bell fan when I was a kid.
Yeah, Albert Bell rules. Let's use him. 2020. Okay, Cleveland Indians are playing and they're doing well, but they lose a left fielder. So Albert Bell comes out of retirement. Who's 48, 52 now? Is he gonna hit? Is he gonna be good for 30 home runs and 100 RBIs? Batting 320? No, he's probably going to be an old man who can't play with the guys that are throwing 99 mile per hour heat with movement. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You have a UFC fight. I mean, if Randy Couture came back right now to fight whomever is, I don't know, Conor McGregor Conor's going to whoop his ass.
I mean, look at CM Punk's last fight. He was like 30-something to do it in his younger 20s, and you saw the difference. I mean, that's a pretty good example of what the reality of what a young go hard can do to somebody, even in their because I believe a lot of performers in their 30s are in their peaks, but like he went into that world and got his ass kicked, and it was that difference of age I felt when I watched it was what made the difference.
He certainly damaged himself.
Yes. Okay, so find your purpose. Yep. I have.
Ooh.
And and he takes the hood down. And you then show that you have shaved your head. You're not looking like that classic EC3 fun, money guy. You're actually showing a darker, more realistic version of yourself.
Yeah, super cool. Find your purpose. I have. That just sounds awesome. And I am everything you are not. Dude, I'm great. That's good shit.
And now that I am everything, and now I'm everything.
So yeah, in theory,
can we tell everybody though about the shaving of the head story? Because I think that this is the time to get this, because this promo came after the fact that what not many people know is EC3 did wrestle a last match for WWE and just never was used.
Well, I didn't want to talk about it because So
that doesn't matter as far as the shaving of the head, because he texted me, and we've been wanting to do the Fight Club character for a while. There is a fur coat that he wore on NXT a lot that was very Tyler Durden, and as soon as he texted me, I was like that he was getting a match, and I go, hey, do you have the fur coat? He goes, of course. And I'm looking for someone to shave my head. Like, it was just like
but it was in the middle of a COVID world, so I found somebody.
That moment though, that it was an epiphanous moment where it was just like, the narrative changed, and in that moment you saw an opportunity to perform. Not knowing that it was going to be your last opportunity to perform, and shave your head.
It wasn't even an opportunity. It was, stop. Just fucking stop with that shit. It was dog shit. It sucked. We'll talk about it another time because we're going too long already.
Yeah.
And then Find a purpose I have. I'm everything you are not. Super cool tagline. Show off my new look. This is because at that time I'm thinking this is a Tyler Durden cult leader kind of thing. I'm so fucking, I got my shit together. You want to follow me? And then boom, our catchphrase, you have been warned. Total steal job from Fight Club, but who cares? I'm making my own now. You have been warned, because here I come. And I'm going to fuck shit up. I have arrived. And you will fucking pay. Is the basis of it.
I think it's a good place to take a break.
Sure.
The Control Your Narrative podcast is brought to you by Justified Prints, home of Meat Castle Clothing Company and free EC3. If you can imagine it, we can print it.
You have been controlled your whole life. Politicians, corporations, media, entertainment, even love. They have all had authority over you.
Let me assert my firm
Do you think what you're supposed to think? Feel how you're supposed to feel? Buy what you're supposed to buy? Say what you're supposed to say? Do you allow this world to walk over you, give in, conform?
Ask not what your country can do for you.
Or do you fight? Do you fight back? Fight back against those who lie to you, steal from you, betray you. Those that demean you, degrade you, try to cancel you. Fight back against these tyrants of your heart, your body, your soul, and your mind. Find purpose. Find enlightenment. Control your narrative. Live in this moment, because tonight, I'm living in this moment here. And you have been warned.
And there it is.
I might be the best of all time after watching that.
Yeah.
I'm fucking awesome. I'd like to
There it
give
is.
kudos to Eric Tompkins for the quick edit on that. There's a couple notes I'll get out of the way that I don't think you know yet. I did not get the I'm everything you're not line in. Really wanted to, but more so I had to focus on the fact that I would be on the television show, so that's why it kind of just didn't fit. So I'll be living this moment, I'll be here tonight. Would have been a good place for it, and that what makes me everything they are not, because now it's about them and it's not about like me being better than you because of the way this has evolved. What else? Yeah, so this is an opportunity, a whole new audience. All right, hypothetically, we've been putting stuff out on social media. Maybe they get 50, 100,000 overall.
Yeah.
Find this character and don't see them all. So basically, we have an entire new audience. We got to take a few steps back. We're almost doing a reboot per se, and Impact's the perfect form for it. And
Yeah, like the last 90 days, we were creating the demos of the narrative, and that we called Phase 1. And the climax of Phase 1 was the narrative cinematic fight. And then we dropped that on Friday night at midnight, and then Saturday night, Slammiversary ends with you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like
Nice button on the show, and that kudos to Impact for a great show.
yes.
It was very fun to watch. So they're making moves, and I'm happy to be there, part of it.
And now everybody was like, I mean, you can't post a video without everybody being like, go to AEW, go to like why Impact, like, or please come back to Impact as Ethan Carter and all that kind of stuff. The opportunity for Impact was that they care about the narrative.
Yeah.
They see this as the art form that it is, and the message that it is. And it wasn't like they didn't call up and was like, hey, we want you to come out and be trouble, and they didn't say any of that. They got it.
They wanted this. And it's awesome.
The collaboratory effort to create this movement, and the actual the essential character's narrative, going from he controlled his own narrative, he fought for himself, and then showing up at Impact was I personally I just got chills even talking about it. I thought it was the next part of Phase 2.
Yeah.
It's definitely it all serendipitous how it worked out.
And nobody knows how close it was to maybe never even happening. So we'll leave that speculative. But
Yes. It was very close.
it was a nice Saturday. So it was a good Saturday.
And Impact was very kind, and they shared the narrative cinematic fight.
They did.
The episode 1. They shared on all their social platforms.
I suck at social building audiences. I don't understand it at all. Victor, what's up? But
I thought that was an amazing nod of gratitude and telling the world, hey, we believe in this too.
yeah, that was very cool.
And I mean, it was because we were like, our little bit of social media gets, the 20, 30, maybe 50,000. Impact got us 300,000-400,000 views altogether,
Yeah,
and that was 300,000 or 400,000 people that hasn't even seen this character yet, or didn't see Phase 1 being developed.
That's why I suggested it, and that's why they agreed with it, because it shows something new and different to an audience that may not have seen anything, or some of it, or one or two. You don't know. You always have to, from here on forward, know this. So if I repeat myself a lot, or if I say like, oh, you keep saying the same things, you have to understand every time you present yourself, it could be the first time someone's seeing it. So you almost have to scale back what you want to do. That's why conditioning, catchphrases,
Yes.
all these things are necessary. You have to understand this time I'm out there might be the very first time someone's ever seen it. And like hypothetically, think if you're an Impact Wrestling fan, you're a casual fan, you're watching the show, you missed you missed Slammiversary, but I'm going to catch up. You missed the opening promo, you're watching the show, and then I show up with a shaved head, drop Moose on his head. They're like, oh, wait, what is happening? So you definitely need to put yourself out there as a first time.
It's not like, yeah. So like let's say a casual fan turns it on, sees you drop Moose, not knowing any of the narrative.
Like, what the hell is EC3 doing?
Yeah, and Josh Matthews controlling your narrative, folks, wasn't the best way to start that, but I'll edit that too.
I don't fucking care.
It's just you're not seeing. I doubt that whatever demo they're winning that day, with their views, that the fan is turning on their phone and looking right away at EC3 control your narrative. So it was just, if that is happening, now immediately they get to see the narrative. They immediately get to see him burn his past. They immediately get to see him destroy the fodder. It's and you get to see what is going to be, for us, a very dark and gritty and real cinematic universe that we're building with the narrative.
Yeah.
So it's something
Agreed.
that
Sure.
The narrative is something that we like to live in the world as the narrative's happening all the time. There's always underground fights happening, and the ones that we produce and put out are those are the ones that we're allowing the world to see. But the narrative is happening all the time, and what's going to be coming in the future of the narrative, and seeing how we experiment with this. This is a Wild West type of storytelling in the professional wrestling world.
It is, and I don't know what to say.
It's hard even to go into what we have planned.
Do we have?
because
Here's what I don't want. I don't want to be a demented social media artist. Hey man, big things coming. Stay tuned. Like I don't know. I can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we have
Hopefully.
really good ideas that might work. They might suck. I don't know yet, but we're gonna try something.
I mean, a true artist
Hold
films
on.
everything.
We're gonna challenge ourselves. We're gonna damage ourselves. Okay, putting this out there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then
That's great.
with Impact allowing me to reestablish this character too, I can take steps back from bringing that character forward, and we can focus on other things and other people in our creative little universe that coincides now with the entire professional wrestling landscape, because the narrative is on Impact Wrestling. It's happening now. I'm there. Like, this is all happening in real time. What's going on when it's not Tuesday from 8 to 10 on Access TV? Oh, maybe there's a narrative going on. There's some fights going on. Maybe fodder's like getting good.
Yeah.
Maybe other superstars of the past have realized they have aired their ways, and they want to come and recreate themselves and destroy their past and come down to the narrative for training. I don't know. Possible. So, yeah.
It is a factory of reinvention. Sorry, factory of reinvention.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be. Now, to tighten it up with a little bow, you did drop Moose.
I did.
You did drop Moose. You told him he has been warned, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out, because he was definitely calling out the character in a lot of his recent posts.
I have fucking arrived. Keep your name out my fucking mouth. keep your name. Like, keep my name. Hold on, let's start that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I have arrived.
Yes, you have. Speaking of arrival, let's talk about a little bit. Every episode, we want to go in a little bit about the narrative, the fan base that we're building. And it's each and every one of you listening or watching. You are the narrative, and it just so happens that someone in the Florida area bought a Control Your Narrative shirt.
Yeah.
And you went above it. You were heading that direction to do some top secret stuff, and then you ended up just hand delivering a shirt. Like, in a COVID world, the wrestler you're supporting hand delivers the shirt. That is unheard of.
I guess that's cool. Yeah, there was a. All right, www.freeec3.com, wearable propaganda and merchandise. It's all hand created by us here. Like, we do all the work. So it's very personal to us. We want it to be, I don't know, wrestling stuff you can wear that's cool. We're putting our work onto your body, so we want it to be efficient, cool, look good.
And we want to create something that appeals to the everyday person, not just the wrestling fan.
Yeah, but so I'm fulfilling orders. He's over there sweating over, burning up the presses, and this name came up. It was Bruce Lee. I was like, Bruce Lee, that's a cool name. I mean,
obviously.
Bruce Lee. And I see he's in Brandon, Florida, and I used to live over in Tampa, so I'm like, that's right by Tampa, and tomorrow I have to go to Tampa to do something top secret, but by the time you see this, you already know it's Jericho's podcast, so give that a listen on the Westwood One Network.
Yes.
So I'm like, I've had the idea, I'm like, there's been orders that come in from Florida, I'm like, this dude's 20 minutes away, what if I just dropped it off at his house? This dude's an hour away, what if I just dropped it off? Bruce Lee's there, I'm on the road, let's do it. Yeah. Pack the thing. The Control Your Narrative hotline, a.k.a. Justified Prince's phone number. Texted him.
Yeah.
Not my phone number. And people call it. Like, if you call and I answer, be prepared to speak. Don't like.
Yeah, we put that number up there for a reason. If you're looking to control your narrative, give us a call, and we will help you with that.
Possibly. I might not answer it.
Yeah. Or it might just be me.
It might be.
Or Huntley.
Driving down to Brandon, I even forgot what the shirt was I brought him. I brought Jericho the exact same shirt, Control Your Narrative, with a bottle of booze. But we text him, like, hey, man, you going to be around? Your package is being delivered. He's like, yeah, I'll be here. Cool. Knock on his door, and you'll see the video. You probably saw it on Instagram. Holy shit. Bruce Lee, gigantic man. Thought it might have been a kid. Nope. Adult male, huge, cool dude. Shake hands, shoot the breeze a little bit. I did have to go, so I didn't get to spend much time with him. But he was very appreciative. Chats me up on Instagram. We're talking. We're cool. He's part of the narrative. I like him. Yeah, it is a great marketing tool, I'm sure. I think it bumped the numbers up. But it was very personal and just something cool to do. Why not?
We want to let everybody know that we're not guaranteeing Free EC3 is dropping off the merch, but we want you to know that we are putting that personal touch on everything that we put out the door.
Yeah.
That's what that really is. And, I mean, his name was also Bruce Lee. We had to meet this guy. Like, it had to happen. Is there anything else?
I think that's good.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for tuning in for Control Your Narrative episode 2, The Impact. And we'll see you next week or next time, whenever we feel like doing this again.
Yep.
Bye.